morning.
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 Everybody ready? All right.
How are things coming along for your position group?
From an outside backer standpoint?
Yes.
They're coming. We're clearly not where we need to be, and we've got a lot of steps to take. That's really the bottom line. To play in a 3-4 defense, you've got to have dominant outside edge guys. I mean, every 3-4 team that you think about that plays really good defense, one of the first names that pop in your head is an outside backer. And we need to find some guys that can step up. And right now, that's one of the positions that we really need to grind hard. And you know, we've still got some practices to go. We've got all of fall camp, but somebody's got to emerge. And right now, I wouldn't say anybody's sort of emerged, and so we just got to get better.
Is it from a consistency standpoint? Is there one thing that they're struggling to grasp, or?
No, I think it's a culmination of things. You know, it's technique, it's the defense. You know, we've got to be consistent in our defensive assignments. We've got to understand what we have. We've got to understand formations and tendencies, and if an offensive lineman's sitting light, if he's sitting heavy, you know, where do my eye progression go? It's a constant correction, you know, to keep those guys locked in, because you know, from a position group right now, we're young out there. I mean, we don't have a lot of experience other than Boog, so we're green, and it's not to the standard that we expect from an outside linebacker group right now, and they know it. So I'm not telling them anything that they won't know, and they expect it, and we're not going to demand it anything less. We talked about that from the very first day. The bar's been set, so you either work to get over that bar, or we're going to find somebody that can, and we'll keep grinding and chopping wood and doing all those, you know, things that people say they do. But I need somebody to step up and be the guy in that room, and it hasn't shown yet. So you can hear there's a little frustration in my voice from that, and there should be, and I think they should take it as that. I need those guys to be really good.
Who are the young guys at Jack in particular that are getting reps that you're looking at there? Are they moving back and forth? Are they focused?
Yeah, I mean, right now it's primarily been it's Jordan Wright and Jared Casey, the two guys there right now, and then obviously we've got a couple of freshmen also coming in. You know, so we'll throw those guys in the mix, and I'm not going to be afraid. The best guy is going to play, and it's not just being a dominant rusher. It's not just being dominant in coverage. It's the whole package. You have to understand the defense. You have to know how to rush. You have to know how to convert. You have to know how to feel your inside tackle. If he's getting vertical, then I got to play off him. And some of that comes with time and experience. And but the one thing we tell the guys in this, hey, you don't have time. You know, this we're in the business of winning ball games, and you know, so we're going to find a guy, and we're going to. I'm confident that it'll shake itself out come time, and you know, until that time, I don't know who that guy's going to be.
How much does the development of the secondary play into also maybe some of that?
You know what? From an outside backer position, I don't think secondary development has much to do with it. Now, I think when you get into a game situation, we always talk about rush matching coverage and coverage matching the rush. So I think that's very important. The tighter we can get in the back end, the more opportunities it's going to allow those guys to rush and not necessarily have to win early in the down. You know, the QB has to pat the ball. You know, you can win in an effort rush, you can win later in the down. And then vice versa. If we can win early in the down, it's going to relieve some pressure on those DBs. They don't have to be so sticky all the time early in the down. So I think we've got to match both. And again, it goes back to outside linebacker play and interior line. And I think we've done some really good things inside. That's where we've seen really our most pressure come out so far. This spring is from our interior guys, which is a really encouraging sign. I think the teams that have great interior rushers, if you're going to be deficient somewhere, I would rather be more deficient on the edge. I think interior pocket push, affecting the quarterback right off the spot, I think that's what really works at any level. You know, so when you've got guys inside that are hunting good, you know, good things happen. And we've got that right now, and that's where, you know, we've talked about, that's where we need to be strong down the middle, and we've been strong down the middle, both in the run game and the pass game. So we need to keep that up, and if we can match what they're doing inside, outside, then we've got a chance to be good.
How much is the challenge for a guy like Jordan Wright, who's been here for a couple of years, but obviously didn't play very much because Josh Allen played almost every important snap there?
You know, when you say challenge, I don't think it's really any different than anybody else that's coming in. What I think is he's got to see reps. There's no question. A lot of pass rushes, you got to feel passage. You got to feel, you know, what is the tackle doing? All right, what is this guy? How is he kicking? Is he a two-step puncher? Is he this? Is he that? Okay, now it's a down block. Where do I transition my eyes? So the reps will take it, but being in this system for a couple of years, you know, he's had a lot of those reps, and it's the dynamic, I think, of college football. A lot of guys, they just want to play early. You know, you talk to young guys all the time. I want to play early. I want to play as a freshman. And I try to sit down with every one of them and tell them, listen, there is nothing more valuable than a redshirt if you do redshirt, because you're going to go against a #1 offense every single day in practice. Our #1 offensive tackle, our #1 right tackle, our #1 left tackle, interior guard center. You know, if you're a DB, you're going against our top wideouts every single day. So you can either take that as, okay, this is going to get me SEC ready, or you can take it as, oh man, you know, I've never done this in my life, and you put your head down and you just sort of slump through practice and you give half effort. Well, if you do that while you're redshirting, guess what? You're not going to play as a redshirt freshman because you didn't get yourself better. But if you take it as, okay, I'm going to take each practice day while I'm redshirting as a game situation, and I'm going against an SEC opponent, well, guess what? Now you're going to be ready to play the next year. And you got to teach yourself those habits. And so I think to go back, and I know it was kind of a long way around, but if I take advantage of my years here, whether I'm playing or not on Saturday, you get more reps in practice than you ever will on Saturday. And so to me, a guy that's in the system 2 or 3 years, whether he's played in games or not, there's no excuses. You've seen enough. You've gone through camp. You've gone through spring. And, you know, it's time to elevate. And, you know, obviously once you get in the game speed's going to pick up. But if you've done everything right in practice, it shouldn't feel that much different.
Just between, in general, defense in general, what do you want to see happen between now and the spring game next Friday?
I want to see us tighten up. You know, these last couple of days, we put in a few different things. You know, you guys have asked, you know, we're doing most of the same things. There's just been a few different techniques that we've put in, and so there's going to be some learning there, and there's going to be some growing pains. And in practice, it may not look the cleanest. And trust me, I sort of knew that going in, that it wasn't going to be the cleanest, but you need tape to be able to teach off of. But now, let's tighten the screws. okay, I've understood it from a 20,000 feet. Let's bring it down. And now it's, you know, when we get into the spring game, we should understand what we have to do in every single one of the techniques coaches ask me to do at any position. And that's what I want to see. And if we understand the techniques and you can play the technique when it's called, then you can focus on playing fast. Then you can focus on what the offense is giving you. But if you're so worried about, what do I do in this drop, or what do I do on this play, and that's all you're focused on, then the ball snapped, everything that the offense does now is going to feel like a surprise because you've done nothing pre-snap to set yourself up for anticipation.
You look for guys that can go on their own without you all being in the ear.
All the time. Then there's no question, because on Saturdays, I can't be in their ear. They're going to have to know it, and I'm going to have to be able to trust certain calls, and I'm going to have to trust, if I'm going to put you in the game, that you know how to run our defense. And we're going to find 11 guys that can do that. And I'm confident that we will, but it's been sloppy here this week, and what I'm looking for on Saturday is to be tightened up for the scrimmage.
Coach Stoops talked the other day about the progress Quentin has made. How big is it for a defense to have an anchor like that?
Oh, in a 3-4 defense, where you have a nose that can dominate, it's you can't describe it. That's my security blanket. You know, I can do a lot of different things when I know that's anchored down. It's unbelievable for those inside backers to have that security. Okay, I know this guy's going to be able to handle that, and you can do some different things. He's been one of the guys that I've wanted to step up in spring, and he has stepped up. Now, the key for Quentin is to do it day in and day out, and then when it gets to the season, it's got to be game in and game out. We need him to play big. You know, we talked about, last week, talked about D-Rob playing big in 12, 13, 14 games. That's the same with Hugh, and the same with those inside backers. And then all of a sudden you're looking, okay, we just talked about Quentin, we just talked about safety, and then we talked about inside backers. And you went right down the middle of the field. We've got that strong, solid core. All right, that's something we can lean on, and that's the foundation that we're going to lean on. And then we need these other guys to start jumping on board and seeing how they act, seeing how they work in the weight room. We need those leaders, and we need them to pull guys up and grab them by the back of the shirt and say, hey, this is how it's done here. And when we get that, that's when we're going to be the defense we want.
Okay, folks, we got